Good morning. This is Father Stephen Kelly from St. John's Church in Detroit. And we're continuing our series of daily morning meditations where we generally look at one or another of the lessons that are assigned for morning and evening prayer, what is known as the daily office lectionary. Yesterday we deviated a bit. We talked about our booklet about mission and ministry and a little bit about how Bishop Emmerich of the Diocese of Michigan, 1948 to 1973, really had a strong emphasis on the church as an organization built for the mission, right? The mission is to bring the whole world to Jesus Christ. And we are hoping to become that type of parish here at St. John's, one that is mission-oriented. I hope if you are not already reading those meditations that you take advantage of that. There's 28 small little 2-3 paragraph meditations for you to read each day at stjohnsdetroit.org or stjohnsrenewal.blogspot.com. Either place, you'll be able to find that booklet. But today I want to jump back into St. Matthew's Gospel. And today's lesson that's assigned is one that'll be very familiar to you from the beginning, and that is the story of the Palm Sunday, at least the first half of it. It's weird because we didn't really have a big Palm Sunday celebration this year. Yes, we had the celebration of the Holy Eucharist, but by beginning of March and the beginning of Lent, we were shut down because of this coronavirus. And so we didn't have the big grand celebration and the marching around the church with the palms and singing all glory, laud, and honor to the Redeemer King, as we are accustomed to do here at St. John's Church. We begin chapter 21 with the story of them going and getting the ride for Jesus and him entering the city and the people proclaiming him as the Son of David. Hosanna to the Son of David, right? These great praise. They are acknowledging, at least the crowd that was there that particular day, acknowledging that Jesus is the fulfillment of God's promise to send a Messiah, an heir of David. And of course, we do know that Jesus is in the genealogy from David through both his mother and of course his father, matrilineal marriage. We've talked about that before, but Mary would have been in the same genealogy as Joseph. And so we do know that Jesus is in fact a biological heir through the flesh of Mary to David, which is a part of God's promise of fulfillment to the Jewish people. But what's interesting, and this is left out on Palm Sunday, so I thought we would jump on it today, is that after Jesus enters Jerusalem to these acclamations, the first thing he does is he cleanses the temple. This grand celebration of him arriving. And as you can imagine, this was not well received by the religious authorities. And so we hear, and Jesus went into the temple of God and cast out all them that sold and bought in the temple, and overthrew the tables of the money changers and the seats of them that sold doves, and said unto them, It is written, My house shall be called a house of prayer, but ye have made it a den of thieves. And the blind and the lame came to him in the temple, and he healed them. And when the chief priests and the scribes saw the wonderful things that he did, and the children crying in the temple and saying, Hosanna to the Son of David, they were displeased, and said unto him, Hearest thou what these say? And Jesus saith unto them, Yea, have ye never read, Out of the mouths of babes and sucklings thou hast perfected praise. So it's interesting, of course, the religious authorities are not only upset that Jesus has upset the buying and selling in the temple and causing that sort of chaos, but what's displeasing them is that people are proclaiming him to be the Messiah, that they're proclaiming him to be the fulfillment of God. And what they want him to do is to deny it, right? They say, do you hear what these people are saying? You realize what this is going to cause, what kind of chaos this is going to end up being, right? They're worried about the Roman authorities coming in and overthrowing their system of worship and their hegemony of the temple itself. And Jesus, of course, already starts to do that because he's throwing out the money changers. The money changers are there because the authorities, religious authorities, will not allow for the temple tax to be paid with Roman coinage because it has an image on it of a man who claims to be God, and it's an image at all, so they can't use the Roman coin, so they've made their own temple money. Plus, there's money coming in from other regions of the world for people paying the taxes, and so the money changers are, of course, making money on the money, and the selling of doves. Obviously, it's a convenience. in the sense of if you're coming and you're making an offering, a sacrifice, to not have to haul the doves from home, you just come and buy them. But of course, there was something crooked about that trade happening right there in the temple itself. And so Jesus overturns on that. He says, you've made it into a den of thieves. So I'm sure that this got the authorities riled up to start with. And then for Jesus to not only rebuke those who are calling him Messiah, because why would he do that? But they're upset, right? The religious authorities are upset. Here's Jesus. He's healing. He's causing miracles in the temple. And all they can see is that the religious worship has been upset because of the money changers being overturned and the doves being overturned. And they're fearful that if he's the Messiah, that things are going to change. And of course, we know they will. Ultimately, the temple will be destroyed. The Romans, by the year 70, will destroy the temple and eventually overthrow the entire government. But the temple's no longer necessary. We don't need to worship God in a particular place, right? Jesus says God is spirit, and we will worship him in spirit and in truth. So we don't need one particular location, being the temple, to offer the sacrifices. Right? So it becomes redundant. But ultimately, we're now going to head towards that last vital, important week of Jesus' life, leading up to the cross and the empty tomb. So I hope on this Thursday morning you get a chance to think about how it is that maybe bringing Jesus into your life may turn things upside down. I hope they do. Because we want to have him cast out sin and things that are bad in our lives, in order to replace it with what is good. Out of the mouths of babes and suckling thou hast perfected praise. And what's coming out of their mouth but Hosanna to the Son of David, because Jesus has fulfilled God's promise. I hope you have a wonderful Thursday. God bless you.